Taking the trail of exploring RC crawling? Well, guess what? RC Crawlers and Coffee brings you morning wisdom, the latest rig tunings, and pro tips that you'll need. So call to bed and stick around.
Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're on my favorite spot, Linda Vista. And I brought
Alexis.
Alex. So we're going to be talking about his story and what he got going on in his life. I want to know how you got into the hobby and then how you got introduced into pork belly.
Okay. So I got into the hobby, I want to say summer of last year, 2023.
Okay.
It was when I first got on SEX24. Primarily was for my daughter, but you know how that goes. So we bought it for her. We were going to go camping in the Mojave. We ended up doing a couple of camping trips, but really quick, I saw she wasn't really into it. Given the fact what it cost, the rig, you know, they're pretty expensive, you know, for a fucking toy. Anyways, fast forward to like December, it was when I really went down the rabbit hole, because that whole time, you know, I didn't really initially, you know, find too much interest into it because, yeah, it was a scaled down rig, you know, but it wasn't really, you know, what I was expecting, you know, because I would see these other crawlers, the 10 scales, which I didn't know back then, you know, and I was like, damn, I think it's pretty sick. So anyways, fast forward to like around December was when I really, like I said, went down the rabbit hole. I got an LCG chassis from Endura. I was upgrading tires, playing with suspension, shocks, bodies even, from Lexington to hard body, this and that. Dabbled a little bit. Ultimately, it was a balls to the wall Cape Crawlers build. Flex blades in the front, flex blades in the rear. You know, because he was what was popping in the crawler scene. You know, what I thought. You know, and it wasn't until I met Rex, and me and Rex go way back. Okay. But I saw him in a recall hobby one day, and I was like, dude, what's up? You know, I only knew Rex because of biking. Okay. You know, we used to ride bikes together. We were part of this community called Sounds at Fixed Gear. But he had his hard body. It was a hard body Yoda at the time. I think he still has it with trenchers. And that's how I got introduced to the pork belly. But at first, though, when he picked up my rig, I was surprised because he said, "Oh, Alex, this is really top heavy." And I'm like, "What? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I have a balls to the wall flex blade build. Like, you're wrong." Yeah. You know, so I thought, right? But looking at his build and looking at how he was driving it, you know, it got me intrigued because the way his body was fully unloaded and the way his axles and his tires were still stuck to the ground, you know, I was like, wow, like I'm definitely doing something wrong and he's doing something right, you know. And then he followed up. He's like, Alex, like me and my buddies, you know, we're building this chassis. No, they built the chassis. I think at that time they already had it built. This was around March. Yeah, you guys already had it built. And he was like, yeah, well, we've developed it. You know, it's pretty sick, this and that. And I'm like, okay, all right, you know what I mean? Like, all right, that's cool. But I wasn't interested in it. You know what I mean? Mind you, I had a balls to the wall Cape Crawlers build.
You had a top of the line.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I stayed true to what I built. Yeah. You know? But then I was watching your PBX10 video, how you were explaining
the flex suspension,
the flex tunability of these chassis. And I was on Res Concepts page, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, right? This was around March, like 5 months ago, you know? So I ended up getting my PB24 chassis, and it was a hard body chassis. So it was what I was intending to build, hard body PB24, you know, and I built it, and at first it wasn't what I thought it was going to do. It wasn't doing what your videos were saying, this and that, but it was because, again, I had that Cape Crawlers, or I had that whole recipe of how they do things, and I tried to put it on this. So it wasn't flexing, wasn't doing any of that cool characteristics that you guys were talking about. You know? So, you know, and that led to me joining one of the Facebook groups, Spark, Rock Crawlers. And this is where it all began. This is where I met JT.
Okay.
I met JT at Fowler, and I have to give credit where credit is due, and that's JT. JT, this goes hand in hand with the comps. I'll speak about that in a second.
Yeah.
But JT influenced me in a way to where he wasn't telling me what to do, but just seeing him drive at the comps, whether it's out here, whether it's Genentech or whatever, the way he analyzes things or the way his thought process for sequencing before a gate or before something, it's pretty bizarre. He's
different.
He's a 1-1. You know what I mean? There's a reason he's winning all the comps, and he's a 1-on-1 person. But I had to give credit to him because the first day I met him, right away, I knew my rig was built incorrectly, and he didn't tell me, "Oh, dude, your thing sucks." Or, no, he was just like, "Oh, you should probably try and do this, and that." He gave me pointers, And he did just that. Went home, narrowed my track width, played with my weight bias, with my layout. I had a completely different build, and thus begins the algorithm of buying more chassis.
It works. I want more.
So I bought my first, I bought a cage build chassis or another PB24 chassis, but I bought a half cabbage, so it was essentially a cage build.
Okay.
And that was my first cage build. And that's where I really went balls to the wall too. I played a lot with that. When it came to adjusting the shocks, rake, how does your rear affect the front, all this, along with getting help from JT. He was giving me pointers. I was kind of watching how he was tuning his stuff. I was watching how he would adjust his rake towards wheelbase. Stupid things like that, make a huge difference, especially at comps.
Oh, yeah.
So, he influenced me in that way. And in the comps, I think the first one that I did, it was the one at Delta, and the one that I got in first place, it was that first cage build. And that build, funny enough, I spent a lot of time on it, But even though I spent too much time, I think, tuning the shocks, tuning all that stuff, the flex, because I did run it with no braces, so I can have a lot of flex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Although that build was tuned around that, it didn't really help me win the comp, I think. Even with this last comp. You know what I mean? It's weird. I think I'll go in depth, but I think all the res guys, Rex, JT, Jordan, their rigs are built completely different. Like they're really
to their style of driving.
To their style, exactly. But they're built completely different. But if it's one thing that they all have, and what I've noticed over the course of this 4 or 5 months being with them, is that they're all predictable.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the key thing. The PB allows you to tune your chassis in conjunction with your suspension, that it allows you to predict what it's going to do. And shout out to Calvin at the Delta comp, my first Delta comp, the one that I won. He recorded my whole line. It's on my Instagram. He recorded the whole line. And it was pretty cool for me to sit on my sofa, look at the TV, see myself on the TV,
what you're doing,
rig, approaching a gate. And in the moment, you don't even think about it. But I'm sitting down, remembering what I was sequencing right before the gate. I'm like, okay, I'm too short, I got to come in hard, and you can see in the video, I made a wrong turn, whatever. I had the jitters, but on the first gate, I'm three-wheeling, but I remember sitting down with myself. I remember my thought process, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna lift because I know my weight bias. I know that I have enough pressure on my rear tire that if I go a little bit more, I'll dip, And I think that being able to predict that, which these things do, it's pretty astonishing.
You get more confidence in your build and how you drive, right?
You get more confidence, but I think it makes you a little bit more comfortable.
It does.
Because it's like anything in any sport, whether you're racing at the track, racing cars, or you're running a bike at a criterium, if you know your threshold, you know what to expect, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I analyze things like this. This is my thought process when I play with this. If I'm sitting on my sofa right now, or in the morning, like this morning, I was going like this. That's my sequencing when I'm thinking about these things. You know,
that's cool.
I know
it's crazy.
It sucks because it's like I analyze everything.
That's good. That's a really good thing, because it's crazy how you got into it in such a short time and you already developed this much, when it usually takes people a year or two, like, to get it down this good.
Yeah.
And you're already understanding it so much better than most people. I'm impressed and I'm amazed. Like, wow, it's so cool to see that.
Yeah, Jordan was a huge influence on that as well. Again, I have to give credit where credit is due. Jordan, we were sitting right here one day, and he was like, Alex, drive this. It was his PBX. I was like, Jordan, I don't want to drive it.
The 10 scale?
Yeah, his 10 scale. He's like, Alex, drive it. I was like, Jordan, if I drive that, I'm going to want to build one. And he's like, that's the point.
It's true. It's so true.
I drove it, dude, and I was like, oh, I need one of these. You know what I mean? Because remember what I said, when I got my PB24, my first one, it wasn't what I thought it was, remember?
Yeah.
It wasn't what I thought it was. I drove his, and I was like, this is tits. This is what I was looking for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So fast forward a couple months, I ended up building a 10 scale. I'm sorry. I bought a used one that JT gave me a lead on. And moving forward, I ended up building this one. But Jordan, so when I drove the 10 scale, I kind of want to say it fast tracked me, because you made a good point. Some of these guys have been crawling for a long time. JT's been crawling for years. Rex been crawling for years. Jordan's been doing it for years, you know. And although Rex helped me a lot in the beginning, you know, using the terrain with a small tire, you know, what really, I think, really fast-tracked me and really helped me understand things a little bit better. Probably, I should back up. I think what gave me a whole different perspective was when I drove the 10 scale. Like, the 10 scale, driving that after I had my own when I was driving for too long, or I was driving it for a while, I naturally started to tune my 24 scales the way the 10 scales were. I mean, look at this. Like, it has no braces. Like, I don't have a lot of shock length, but I have a lot of articulation. You know what I mean? So I started doing all that, you know.
It's funny you say that. And you say that Jordan taught you that, like showed letting you his rig.
Yeah.
Because Jordan said that also in another podcast.
Okay.
Like, he built his 24 the same as he built his 110 scale, because the same style of driving, the same feel is what he's looking for.
Yeah.
In both of them. And then he mimics that back and forth.
Yeah, it's an organic evaluation. You know, you see something that works and you want to implement into something else. You know, I told Eric that, you know, my 10 scale is exactly how I want my 24 to be.
Yeah.
You know, the comp that I won on Sunday, it's a small version of my PBX 10.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it literally, not this one, the other one. It's a small version, seatbelt length. Really, really low COG, and it doesn't weigh a lot, you know.
Nice.
But yeah, Jordan had that influence on me, and like I said, I have to give credit where credit is due, because he didn't tell me, you know, but he, like JT, gave me pointers, and just the experience being with them. It's kind of like those, you know, in the trades when you're an apprentice and then you have a foreman.
Yeah,
the foreman's not going to tell you exactly what to do. Hell no.
But you're gonna learn from watching them.
It's up to you to learn, you know, what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
to catch that on, absorb all that knowledge.
Yeah, and this last comp at Delta, shout out to Chino, he has one of the most competitive comps. Like I said, I was telling you earlier, we went to the Twin Cities comp up in the Maine. It's like a 4-hour drive, 3.5-hour drive for some of us. You know, you have people coming from different areas, you know, and the comps at Delta, I'm sorry, they are really competitive. That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Chino. Because you have people that are crawling every day. You have people that are crawling with the same stuff that you have. You know, they have the same trans, the same wheels, same insert, you know, in some cases. So it's really competitive, you know. But I think, like, say you're racing at a track with cars at Buttonwillow or Laguna Seca, you have like 20 S2000s, you know, they all have the same engine, the same suspension. It's really up to you. You know, that's where you really know how your driver mod is, I think, for a lack of better terms. And to add to that, I think it's a mental game as well, you know. So, like I said, JT had a huge influence on me, and at the comps, that was one of them as well. Like this guy, I remember one time, I was nervous. It was like 3 comps ago. Cleaned both. Spoiler alert: he cleaned both gates.
Oh, shit.
I mean both runs. But he's like, "All right, I'm gonna do it quick and dirty." And I was like, "What the hell, like, dude? Like for real? Like he went up first and cleaned the whole thing." I was like, oh, "I'll go second too," you know. But anyways, his influence in comping, like it's pretty cool. There's a reason why he's winning comps. You know, again, it's not just the chassis. The chassis helps. The chassis helps you predict what your rig is going to do to the terrain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's mostly driver mod.
Oh, definitely it is.
100%. I think Rex talks about that as well. You know, but yeah, overall, like I said, you know, those 3 guys have different styles, but if it's something that they all have, is that the rig is predictable.
Yeah.
And that's something that I base all my rigs off of.
Nice. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Nice. Because
100%.
last time I heard JT, are you saying that he gets to pick whatever he wants to run? It's funny how he was like, you're saying quick and dirty. He was telling us, oh yeah, I'm just gonna aim for the gates, like just not hit a single gate. That's his goal. He knocks it out.
Yeah.
The other time that I think I was at the creek with them, and oh yeah, I'm just gonna go for the fastest time. I don't care about the gates, and he gets them also. Like however he wants to drive is how he wants to. Yeah, and he gets his goal. He's so driven.
That's JT.
Yeah, definitely. That's so cool though. Let me ask questions for you real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Play a little game.
100%.
So it's, I think you heard about it. It's pick one and go. All right. So we're gonna start off with the 110 scale, and then we'll move on to the 124 questions.
100%.
So 110 scale, brushed or brushless?
Brushless.
Servo on axle, servo on chassis.
Servo on axle.
Servo on axle. Straight axle or portal?
Portal. I don't know, man.
110.
10 scale?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, portal.
Portal. Hard body or Lexan?
Hard body.
3S or 4S?
4S.
1.9 or 2.2s?
I just built a 2.2 for that reason.
So pick one and go.
Oh, dude, 1.9.
1.9?
1.9, 100%. 1.9.
Because you're comfortable, or?
1.9, it reminds me of Rex's thought process for a tiny tire.
Okay.
You have a tiny tire, it really puts you to work. It makes you really take advantage of your clearance. Like, it makes you work. Yeah.
Cool. Gates or trail?
Gates.
110th or 124?
124.
124?
124.
It's where you started, right? It's your love.
Ah, dude, it's my thing.
Dig or 2-speed?
I don't even know what that is.
Dig locks the rear. 2-speed changes the speed on the rig.
Dig.
All right. 3-pin servo, direct power servo.
Direct power, 100%.
Scale crawling or extreme crawling? You had one go and that's it.
Shit. Extreme crawling.
Extreme crawling?
Yeah, dude.
Right. You do more of it?
The thing is, extreme is like, it's like a vague word. I think of extreme like what Rex is doing. You know what I mean? That's extreme.
Well, I mean, to anybody, what we're doing out here is extreme. Like,
yeah, you're right.
That's what we consider it, because a regular stock crawler is not going to do most of the stuff that we're doing. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what we consider extreme, just a bigger category.
Okay, extreme. Yeah.
124 questions. Oh, yeah, 124 questions. So, brushed or brushless?
Brushless.
What's your favorite servo? Your go-to?
Reefs.
Reefs?
Reefs.
Okay.
Reefs.
I'm like looking at this. I'm like,
that's the NSDRC, but they're great, 100%. Love them. But my Reefs, I've had it on my rig for the longest. I kind of messed up on the endpoints one time, and I ran it for a while, and it kind of started acting kind of funny. But then I took it apart, put it back together, and it works. Reliable. That's the thing. It's like the Honda.
There you go. Yeah, reliable.
Up, cheap, good.
Two-wheel servo or four-wheel servo?
A two-wheel.
Two-wheel. And hard body or Lexan?
Hard body.
Hard body still.
Hard body still.
Okay.
Hard body is life, bro.
Nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Challenge, scale, it's just everything on there.
I'm telling you, I've been influenced by the greatest these past couple months.
Nice. Favorite servo, favorite motor?
My favorite motor.
Your go-to favorite motor. Pick one.
Dude, it has to be the Komodo, the Micro Komodo.
The Micro Komodo or
Yeah,
the
it has to be.
Mini?
Micro Komodo.
Okay.
Yeah.
2S or 3S?
3S.
3S.
3S, yeah. But because Jordan showed me how to play with the exponential graph on the Noble, that I'm able to have the punch whenever I want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with the weight bias, how I have my rigs and the weight, I'm usually running a 3S.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just to get that extra wheel spin at the end.
The way I have my rig set up, it helps me at the comps. At Twin Cities was a good example. I was upside down, and with the half cabbage build, you really you're kind of screwed. So I need the wheel speed, and you have to have good axles, shafts. But I use the wheel speed to help me kickflip over or pop shove it. Yeah.
Dang, you're doing over here skateboard tricks over here.
Dude, I asked JT, asked these guys. I've done some crazy shit. I'm sorry, some crazy crap.
No, you're good. You can say it.
Okay, I did some crazy shit, dude. Like, I've been in a pickle, and I just balls to the wall, give it the beans, and I just, yeah.
That's cool.
It helps.
So, gates or extreme crawling with these?
For 24 scale?
Yes.
Gates.
Gates.
I should have said extreme crawling for the 10 scale. I'm sorry.
That's all good.
But yeah, gates, 100%.
Gates.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Because there's a difference. Rex pointed that out to me.
Yeah.
Extreme crawling builds are way different than a gate race rig.
100%.
I thought it was, you're good.
Nope.
You got the most extreme. You'll do awesome at the comps.
Nope.
And Rex is all like, dude, these are my two rigs. Look at them. And he walks me through them. And I'm just like, oh shit, there's a difference.
Yeah,
like,
100%, dude.
I didn't know that. It's like, no, just take your best rig and you'll be good. No, guys, there's a dedicated rig for comps and there's a dedicated rig for extreme crawling.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
Favorite axles?
Super 8s.
Super 8s?
Yeah, dude. I
Super
know it's
8s?
controversial.
Is that because of Jordan?
No, it's actually because it was. I love this how it looks so slick.
Okay.
They look slick, but you can do some things to have the same track width as a Mius axle, and I've done it on this one. Oh, on this one, it's a mullet build. It's a rear portal, the front solid axle, but it's a front Super 8.
Okay.
Yeah. The turning radius is not as good as the Mius, but has no scrub. Performs just a little bit better, honestly. In my opinion, with my style of
that's what I'm asking. So your opinion is
yeah, but I also have a dedicated Mius axle built.
Okay.
I use that a lot for the free crawling.
Cool. And how many 24s do you have at the moment?
Sorry, babe.
Don't worry, she won't see this. Wives don't see this.
That's all good. I got I have 2 comp builds. I have 2 hard bodies. That's 4. And I want to say 5 in total.
You got 5?
I have 5 24 scales in total. Is that a lot or a little?
No, you're good. You're really good because most people have more.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Like,
okay, yeah.
I try to downsize and yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
So I'm impressed. That's really good. For someone so into this,
yeah,
I'm proud of you. You're doing good.
Well, I just got to
built
this.
Yeah, people just go crazy and just,
yeah,
I got 20, I got 15.
Now that you mentioned that, yeah, you're right. I've heard some numbers from some other guys, and it's like, wow, like where do you guys fit all this crap? Like my lady's giving me shit because I blew up a battery one time, and then she saw the 10 scale. She saw how big the battery was. She was like, "Oh hell no, you're taking that crap outside." And I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh okay." And now she gives me like that look, when I'm like working like near the dining area or whatever. Yeah. So anyway.
You're like, damn.
Whatever.
No, that's good. I'm impressed, but in a good way. Seriously.
Thank you.
And who would you like to see on the show next?
I'm not sure if you guys have JT lined up. We have JT lined up. That's one we got to get on. I think JT, like I said, he was one of the biggest influences for me in the 24. Mind you, I've been crawling. When I got my first PB24, it was around March, right? I'm like a couple months in, Yeah. So I kind of have to give credit to him, although he doesn't tell me crap, like, oh, do this, do that, but he had a huge influence, and I think people can say the same thing about him. It's true. His experience and overall, like I said, he has a bizarre way of doing things that works. You know what I mean? And I think that's pretty cool because you see people, copy and pasting builds all the time. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. but the way he does his rigs, I mean, he's not running expensive ass shocks, and it goes a long way to understand that he's not doing that, and he's doing really well at comps. He's doing really well.
Sometimes the rubber bands, and he's still doing really good.
Yeah, or he doesn't run shocks on his comp in the rear, but yeah, I think JT would be really cool to hear his story.
Call him out.
JT, you need to be on here, my man. You need to be on here. But yeah, nice. JT, I think JT, it would be nice to have him.
Cool, definitely would be. Yeah. And I'm still waiting for it too, because I keep seeing him, but yeah, we'll get him eventually.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. He's got a lot of things going on. Yeah, I think we all do around this time and era.
And we were just talking about that too.
He's really busy. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, let's get on the rocks and crawl a little bit.
Yeah, 100%.
I've been itching for this.
100%.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Dude, this has been really cool.
Cool. All right, guys. Check out the next one.
Thank you for joining us in another episode of RC Cars and Coffee. Did you get the trailers you're aching for? If so, join us next time for more RC wisdom and pro tips. Till then, happy crawling!